Welcome to another edition of the LitRPG Guildmasters Live. This is Tim Kaiver, and we have a couple of wonderful guests today. I'm excited to introduce you to Damien Hanson and Dimitrios Gkirgkiris.
Yes, Gkirgkiris.
Welcome, guys. So, sort of a formal announcement. We've mentioned it earlier, but you're looking at the two newest members of the LitRPG Guildmasters. So welcome, guys. We are thrilled to have you, and it's humbling to be part of the same group with you guys. Damien, you've been publishing longer than I have with your Glitch World books, and you've been making me laugh for a long time. So I look forward to having you on today. And Dimitrios, that Berserker book is killing it right now. It's #1 in Stargate and fantasy sports. I was looking at it this morning, which I'm a little angry about because I thought I was the best Stargate author, but I guess facts are facts, so we'll go with that. So we'll start with Damien because he has published first. I don't know, it's arbitrary, but
we should have a dice roll off.
Yeah, I thought about complicated things, but let's just go with it. So, Damien, what in the world is Glitch World?
A good question. It's a pyramid series, so I'm going to do the little pyramid here. The idea is that the idea is to have 4 origin stories, kind of like how Avengers does it. You know how every Avengers movie is its own standalone origin story talking about the hero or the villain of that story. And then it all kind of fits together later into an ultimate Avengers finale conclusion. And that's the idea behind Glitch World. It's been pretty difficult to keep it together, but it's working, I think, because we have the 4 on bottom, and then those are going to result in matchups with 3 in a I'm going to call it the second tier, 3 books in the second tier, 2 books in the third tier, and then a ultimate finale. And what's at stake here is we have a nanotechnology game park that people go to live out augmented reality game, to live out their fantasies or to do quests, to do really whatever they want to do. Like, there are multiple genres that they can mix and match to form their own individual games if they want to. And of course, this part goes wrong. And so it falls into one of my favorite apocalyptic scenarios, the gray goo scenario, which is when nanobots get out of control and terraform the whole planet. And that's the stakes. That's what is ultimately what's on top there and what we're moving towards. And on the way, we're facing some crazy AIs that have been corrupted for various reasons, where we're facing up with things that are supposed to be in-game becoming reality because the nanoblocks themselves are malfunctioning. And as one reader put it, it seems to be like a holodeck from Star Trek gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask you if resistance is futile.
Yeah, it kind of is. So far, anyways, the characters are not having a fun time.
And so, Dimitrios, your first book in your series, Berserker, I love the title of your series, Apoc Cosmos. Am I saying that right? So introduce us to the Apoc Cosmos.
So the setting of the book is it's urban fantasy setting, and we start like most books in the normal world. We have a developer. At some point, at the inciting event of the story, the character discovers that there is a world parallel to ours that is ruled by, let's say, a set of rules that are very strict and very number-driven. And that is the apocosmos, while our world is the cosmos. our world, the cosmos, what we know as our universe, is a world where everything is, let's say, limited, and we cannot see what we cannot see the truth, let's say it like that. So there is this thing called dark energy that governs through the whole multiverse, and Apocosmos is just one part of this multiverse that the dark energy manifestations, let's say, are toggled off, and then we have the whole Apocosmos part. There are many realms. There are the elemental realms. There is the realms of the Greek pantheon, of the Nordic pantheon. So all of these things, because I wanted to have a world where I am not limited to the kind of stories that I want to put out. And in case that other people are interested in this world, I would not have to. I can provide them a bigger sandbox where many stories can be created. It's just. It feels nice to have something open-ended and decide where I'm going to take it next.
Yeah, we have some creative folks here. That sounds awesome. So introduce me to the main character, and Dimitrios, while you're on that topic, who's the main character in your story, and how are they introduced into the Apoc cosmos?
Mm-hmm. So the main character is Alexander. He is a half Greek guy living in New York. He studied IT. He works as a software engineer. He hates people. He is very antisocial. The only thing he likes is his dog, which for most it's a corgi, which for most people is the main character of the books, and because he has all this pent-up anger, he has anger management issues, and he gets into a fight with the wrong kind of people. And the only way to get into the Apocosmos, if you are not part of it, is if someone pulls you in. And because these people had some trouble dealing with him in this fight, they pull him in and they broke him. But after that, he's introduced to the system. He starts seeing these prompts, etc. And yeah, there's no turning back after that. Really, you cannot unsee these things. That's pretty much it. There are some other characters, some side characters, but I am arguing that Alexander is the main character. Everyone else is saying Louis the Corgi is the main character. I don't know. Maybe I need to shift focus.
How about you, Damien? So you mentioned that there's 4 books on the bottom foundation.
Yep. Yeah.
Is there one person predominant, or is it equally across the 4?
Well, they make characters from some of the stories I've already made kind of guest star appearances in others. Like the very first book, the main characters were Derek and Meredith. Those were the 2 main, and a third one shows up later. I won't give up too much about that. But Meredith shows up all over because she's the principal architect of the park. She is this genius woman who she knows everything there is to know about nanotech and about how to program the nanites and the nanoblocks themselves. So she appears in every book so far. She has made at least a brief appearance in the background. And in the very first book is it details her own entrance and subsequent entrapment into this breaking down system, her and Derek. The biggest thing, and this is something that I talked to a reader about that he wasn't quite happy about, is the origin stories are both heroic and villain stories. Like the second novel, well, it's second, but it's really another book 1, right? The second novel I wrote for this pyramid idea is called Douche Mage. And you can tell right away by the title that he's not a nice guy. But some people picked it up thinking that just like the first, we were going to have heroic figures again. And no, he does everything you could possibly do bad, and he does it giggling, right? He's not a nice guy. And then let's see. Oh, go on.
They didn't get that from the huge middle finger on the cover.
No, they did not.
I mean, that's okay.
Right. Yeah. And the other idea is that each book will touch on a different genre. So the first one touches on sci-fi and superheroism, and then Douche Mage actually focuses on fairy tales and sword and sorcery, because that's the genre that Brian Douche Mage likes to play in. And then the third one is Dungeons and Dill Holes, and that one that one focuses on a sabotage plan, but also upon a somewhat hidden gladiatorial ring where prisoners who in the penal system who wish to have shorter sentences can actually sign up and do these fights with nanotech, deadly nanotech environments on TV, televised, and then in exchange, shorter sentences and get out if they survive. So that one actually feeds more into the why, part of why the park is exploding. And that one has both heroes and villain origin stories inside it. And a fourth one's finished, but it's not published yet because I'm trying to get the audiobooks done.
Mm-hmm.
You know how that goes. Like you put them up to Amazon, and then Amazon says, nope, do it again. So you do it again. And then 3 weeks later, they say, oh, you almost had it that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're working on that.
We'll
get it done.
Who's your narrator?
Well, I have two friends of mine doing it, actually. Lady out in New York and a friend of mine here in Korea who lives not that far from me. Within biking distance for him, and for me, if I kept in shape, I can bike over there too. But it's pretty cool.
Do you have audio book plans, Dimitrios? Anything you can announce for yours?
No, I cannot really announce anything. I've talked with some narrators. I try to hit Hollywood. We're not getting. I mean, I can say it. It's my business. I try to get a voice actor from Critical Role. Nope. Tried through IMDb Pro. Getting that Pro account for 1 month. Get their business details. Went through their agency. Nothing. And I mean, that would either way have been a Kickstarter project, most likely, because I think they charge like 2,000 per 50,000. Yeah, and
it costs a lot.
Yeah, so I think I'm going with a narrator that is known in the genre. I mean, I don't want to say his name yet, because we haven't signed anything, and maybe he would actually, I don't want to work with you anymore, but I really like him, and he is very good at what he's doing. I will tell you flying.
Okay. Well, yes, we don't want to spoil anything until it's official. I know that tends to be the first comment on some of the Facebook posts. What's the audio information? So
too often.
Yeah.
So we've had an interesting past year, 2020, and one of the things that's been on my mind is what I'm using from that year to grow and to try and do better this year. So starting with Dimitrios, what would you say is something that you learned from 2020 that you'd like to take into this year as a writer, and what kind of you're excited about?
So I think it was in 2020. So 2019 and the first half of 2020, I was preparing for there was this whole plan of rapid releasing a fantasy trilogy. The fantasy trilogy, I liked the books, I liked writing them. They didn't sell, but it was a very big lesson in terms of publishing. In terms of getting what's the rating of this show? how bottom out can I get?
We haven't decided.
Am I allowed?
So you can make an announcement that it's I don't know. If people are listening at work, then maybe lower the volume or something.
Getting my together in terms of how I want this project to be, because I don't want to. I like writing, but I also like having people read my stories, And it was important for me to experiment with this first series, so that I could get an editor that I like and that I really trust. That took a lot of time, and get my whole process from starting to write, collaborating with my editor, editing. Getting the cover done, getting a cover artist that I like, or see how things work. So that was a learning experience that I got to use towards the end of the year. And now for 2021, because I tried something different with this LitRPG book, and I learned some more things about formatting. I learned some more things that it's how I can organize my mindset so that I sit down and write, so that every day now I have a specific target. So those are it's not tangible things that I read something somewhere and I learned, but it's just things that over time my mind settled on these, let's say, best practices on writing. And this is, I don't know, this is my biggest takings from 2020, that if you continue pushing, eventually something will give in. That's my. I'm sorry, I don't have any concrete.
No, that was great.
Advice.
So, how have you encouraged yourself? I mean, I know that fantasy is a bigger genre and it's harder to break into that. So how do you think Berserker's done well. It's got 48 reviews and near the top on the star rating. How do you think you're encouraging yourself, aside from what you said, which it sounds like, it's a learning experience, and for the long term, developing the right habits of consistent writing.
So for writing, sorry, yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, how do you encourage yourself to keep going?
Yeah. So for writing is easy in terms of world building and making characters and coming up with ideas. That comes easy because that is the fun part, right? Difficult part is going to bed every day after having written 2,000, 3,000 words, because that's what it takes. That's the difficult part. Everyone has stories, but can you make this idea that you have 100,000 words and make it make sense? So in order to put down the words every day, I would say I try to look at what other people have accomplished and people I look up to, and especially it's easier in LitRPG because authors are more approachable. I can talk to big authors in the genre. I cannot talk to, I don't know, Neil Gaiman and ask him how do you do it, man. But seeing how approachable these people are and seeing how they also struggle with the same issues of I don't know, seeing the next shiny thing and jumping to write that, or seeing a cool YouTube video and stopping to write, stop writing in order to watch that. If I see successful and big authors that are doing really well struggle with these problems, it's much easier to say, but we're not that different. If I sit down and I put in the work, things will fall into place slowly. And especially authors that keep pumping in this work, like Don Chapman and Son Oswald, they write so fast and their books are so good. And looking at what they are producing and the conviction is motivating me as well. I try to look at those numbers, especially the daily the words for the day numbers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that so what he's referring to, the LitRPG Author Guild has an Excel sheet, and anybody that wants to be part of it can put their numbers up, and that's motivated me as well. Sometimes I look at the person maybe 300 words in front of me, and I'm like, oh, I can do another 300 words and jump on their back. So sometimes that's good.
There's no catching Sean, though. He's what, number 2 on the list there?
No, he's
that guy's unstoppable. Is he 5 right now? Okay. he's fast, though. He is.
Damien, how about you? What do you think you've taken away from 2020 that you're wanting to build upon?
Well, it's been a whole new world for me, because I also debuted with a fantasy novel that didn't sell nearly as well as I was hoping. I think I got maybe 300 copies sold, and then afterwards, it's funny. I made an article about it that I took down later because it was comedy passive aggressive. But after I made it free, it moved to like 3,000 copies for the 5-day free period. It just boom. And so my article was about, oh yeah, you guys love my book when it's free. So I struggled with that a little bit, but this whole year has been a comeback from that, a lot of growth on learning how to do it. Because when I wrote the book, I originally wrote it just for my D&D group. I mean, the book was volume 1 of our adventures together, everything that they had done and within my campaign system. And I just made it into literature. And I gave it to them. It was supposed to be a Christmas present, right? And then they're like, oh, you need to publish this. And so I published it. No plan, no arc, no anything. As you can imagine, it didn't have the greatest landing. And so this whole year has been learning about all of that stuff and getting onto the different platforms and meeting all of the people, right? It's been mentioned already, and I think everybody knows this already. LitRPG Authors, it's a community. It's we all talk to each other. But we get together, we talk about things. Someone has a problem, you bring it up, and you learn. And so this whole year, I kind of look at it. I guess last year now, right? But I kind of look at it as publishing boot camp. That's what it is. It's publishing boot camp. It's like, okay, I need to do arcs according to this article. What is that? How do I do that? Okay, I'll look online. I'll read about stuff. Okay, that told me some of the stuff, but now I'm confused. I'll go to the group. I'll ask people. Okay, now I know more stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the whole thing is I've become better at all of it, I think, this year. Better writer, better at publishing, better at getting beta readers, because I always, the whole beta reader thing, when I first jumped in, I thought, oh, I've got friends. They'll beta read. No. Friends don't do that. And if they do, they're just like, yep, good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, big learning experiences here. And then talking about motivation, I try to shoot for 3,000 now. And that was a big lesson, because at the start of the year, I was putting up probably twice that, 6,000, 7,000 a day. And I did it for like 3 months, and I burned out. It got really, really, really hard. Especially after the university term started, because I was doing e-classes and I was still trying to keep up these huge numbers that I felt like I needed to keep up, because I was trying to do a monthly publish was my plan, like get a bunch of books ready for monthly. And that's my lesson. I can't. Other people can. Sean can do that maybe, but I can't do that. So growing, it's been a growing year. I'm learning my limits, learning how to do things. Also, I learned that I love writing articles. which is a plus. I'll be doing a lot of those for the Guildmasters, I hope. Trying to put up some comedy, make people laugh. The old Cracked style, I think. Did you guys ever read Cracked.com back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back when it was funny. And that's what I want to bring. I want to bring some of that into the Guildmasters site and hopefully get people to laugh, and then, they can go on and look at everything else afterwards.
Yes, because of you, we now have a category called comedy on our blog. So
yep.
Welcome to the group, Damien. We appreciate your character.
Thank you.
So what's the plan for 2021? Dimitrios, do you have any soft goals, any hard goals that you're working towards?
Yeah, so my goal for 2020 was pretty vague. I wanted to publish four novels I got, but that wasn't. I'm a numbers-driven person, and that wasn't a numbers-driven goal. It was something very vague because I had 3 books written and I wanted to write another one and publish it. Okay, that's done. So now I try to make some goals for 2021 that are based how much can I write? And now that I know my process and it's streamlined on a good level with my editor, with my artist, etc., I know how many books I can put out. So the second book in the series is coming end of February, and I would like to do another book every 2.5, 3 months. And this is it's not a real bottleneck. It's about how fast I can write and go through the process. And also my artist is, she has certain windows. And what I would like to do is around middle of the year, I would like to open the universe to other authors, potentially, I don't know, to go into conversation with other people that may want to write in this world. And because there is I'm very fascinated. I'm a very, very big fan of the Forgotten Realms and how I've watched videos of how this came to be and how multiple people were writing in the same universe, and it was this world that it eventually became its own thing. I mean, apart from Greenwood selling it to TSR, it became its own thing because many people were writing and many characters were living in all over the map. So yeah, I'm really fascinated with this whole concept, and this would be my biggest goal and challenge 2021, onboarding 1 or 2 authors. And my final goal would be to meet at least 1 author in the genre.
Yeah, I certainly hope. It's been a pleasure meeting you today, but I know it's not the same. So
yeah, in person, have a beer to talk about all the gossip that you cannot leave a trail online.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully we can have our Guildmasters, I don't know, monthly coffee chat or whatever. But yeah, so that's another thing I've been thinking about is the co-author path. I've seen folks like Jan, I don't know if it's Channy, but he has brought on other authors, and I've seen an interview with him where he's like, these authors, we shoot ideas and say, which one fits the market better, and then we work together. And so him and Christopher Hopper have done really well, but they're putting out books every, I don't know, 6 weeks, and it's a little intimidating to see what it takes to make it. And I think that sometimes the co-author path presents that option that does make it seem more feasible to put out the title every 6 weeks. And Steve Bollier and RC Bruno, they have a good thing going too, where they, when they're pushing it back and forth, they're making each other better with each pass. So hopefully you find the right fit. The horror stories of that would be, just lost words if the program doesn't work. So You have one of the best cover artists in the game. Are you using her? Is it Amelia? I don't know. Can you say her name for me?
Amalia Titulescu.
Yeah, she's awesome. I'm gonna just let you say her name because I forgot already. But
Yeah.
what kind of timeline do you have to have your books ready for to have someone of that caliber?
Honestly, if I could buy 3 covers of her today, I would do that, because the waiting time, I think, to get her to start working with her, it's something like 9-10 months. Maybe it's 1 year now. And then if you already worked and both are, you're both happy with the result, I think it's every 3 months. I'm not sure. Maybe things have changed now. But I was lucky. I mean, I wouldn't say lucky, because it was a bad situation for her because of Corona, and she had to postpone some personal obligations, which was a good thing for me, because she pushed my cover a little earlier. Yeah, that's the timeline I'm looking at, which is fine because I cannot really write faster at the moment.
Well, good job. So you're doing 2 to 3K a day. It sounds, and you have a job, so that's impressive.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's impressive, because you guys have families. I only have my dog to walk out, and my girlfriend to occasionally talk to. So it's not that hard.
Sure. How about you, Damien? What's your main hard and soft goals for 2021?
2021, I have another series I want to start up on the side, but I don't know when I can get to it. It's one of those things, right? When you have another story and it's really strong and you need to write it down, but you have other stuff happening. So for the time being, I guess what I want to do is try to get those audiobooks done, and then get back to putting out a book every 2 months. Because no matter what happens in terms of sales, I'm gonna put out the pyramid. It's my white whale, Captain Ahab. So I'm gonna shoot ahead, and I'm gonna try to get another 6, I guess 5 or 6 books out there, and I already have 4. So yeah, they'll be finished. I guess I hope to finish the pyramid by the end of this year. That's my big goal. Yeah. And if, like I said, if I don't get the sales, I guess that happens. Otherwise, other than that, I hope to write a lot of good articles. I want to get people liking those things. I want to see some comments. I want to get people involved, even if it's just to like type something like, "Oh my God, your articles are horrible." Just get somebody commenting.
Yes. Well, and we're building up our newsletter. We appreciate RK doing that for us to link all our articles, and we do invite other people from the genre. So the way it kind of works for our system is the Guildmasters, we're the leaders of the group, but our goal is to build up the community and to support other authors, not having a kind of gatekeeper system. And so if authors have articles they want to write, when you have new releases, we're doing our best to share that information. LitRPG Guild is the website. BF Rock River has been a leader, and he would say, don't call me the leader, but we say thank you for all of your leadership. And he has put in countless hours into the app that went live. We're still in development, but folks can go to our website, download the app that allows you to categorize your books in a rating system of favorites and read, and develop points and a point system that we're working on rewards for as well. So we have a Discord where most of us are pretty active, and we've also got a Facebook group. So I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. Welcome, guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for taking time today. gonna get back to writing myself. So thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you, Tim. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Well, bye everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.